So I ordered a new pair of boots and I'm curious to see how they fit. They are the Eliza lace-up dress boots, and so today I'm kind of doing an unboxing. So everything is kind of wet today, so it's kind of making it a little hard, but here's what came, and let's see what they kind of look like. So far this is pretty nice. Here's what they come out like. So it looks pretty good. Take out the stuffing here. We've got a buckle here and a buckle here. Let's unzip this. Now this is the brand that SmartPack has been designing, and a lot of their boots are kind of comparable in style to Ariat and some of the other more popular brands, but you can definitely get them the look for much less. So I thought I would try these out and kind of see. They've got suede on the inside, what's against the horse in the saddle, so that might be nice for kind of stickiness. So I'm going to go ahead and lace these up properly and put them on and see how they work. You see kind of the boot. Okay, so let's see how we can oops. So that went on nicely. Kind of snap these into place. Now what I like about these with the lace is you can end up with a boot that feels fully customized. So let's just finish the lacing up process here. Oops. So one of the issues I always find with my boots is they're never quite thin enough in here. So I kind of feel like it's a bulky, straight look for me. For instance, my Dainers that are pull-on boots with no laces, it's a dress boot, is tapered in a little bit here, but when I go to put it on, boy does it hurt this part of my foot trying to get the angle in that boot. So I have to say that I really don't wear them a whole lot just because it's really hard to get those things on and off. But with this, I can kind of crank them with these laces here and tighten it up right where I want it. So that's what I'm going to kind of do here. I was just going to undo these a little bit better. Okay, so I've got kind of the holes here, and then I've got the hooks here for quick lacing. And I can just go like this. And once these are sized where I want them and they start stretching and giving, I can just use the zipper in the back. Getting all tied up here. Okay, there we go. Oops. Now, these are going to be a little high for me, up into here, but like most boots, I'm assuming that as the leather starts to wear, these are going to drop probably about a good inch, possibly inch and a half. But with the tightness here, it probably won't drop the full inch and a half like you usually get with a tall boot. But I would still think you're going to get a good inch drop here. And I would say that's probably all I really need to not have it poking under me. let's finish up this. And so far I'm pretty happy with the quality of leather and stuff. I don't like my leather to be too soft because it wears very quickly. I have another pair of boots that, they're just soft like butter, but frankly, anything scratches them. And over time, the inside is really gonna wear on those other boots because the leather is such a fine, soft leather. Now I've tied a knot in these just so I don't have to deal with that. And I suppose you could either let them hang loose or you could just tuck them aside, which I'm just gonna do so I don't have flopping laces everywhere. Oops. I'm gonna try and get it on the other side of the tongue of this boot, just so it's kind of not seen so well. And I think that probably looks pretty nice. I do think that this kind of slopes a little funny, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and get the other one out. So far I like the fit. I went with a 7, and sometimes I kind of borderline 6.5, 7. Ariats, I'm definitely a 7, especially with socks. So I tend to notice that the Ariats are pretty consistent with that size 7 for me. But there's been a few brands that I think run on the bigger side, and people even talk about like wider in the toe, so you've got more wiggle room in the foot. Those I seem to do more with 6.5s, and it works out pretty well. So these I just thought I better go to 7s just in case with a thicker sock. And I'd say I'm pretty happy with that because I've got some toe wiggle room in there. Just to be on the safe side. Okay, so these I think fit pretty well too. Kind of jump up here and get the full look at these. So here we go for the fronts. And the only thing I see as kind of wonky is the way this curls, but I know that when I kind of bend here, it's straightening out. But for me, as you can kind of see, I'm still a little on the high side, but there's no drop. I've got kind of a wrinkle started here, but as that drops some, you can kind of see where it'll go. I'll have more room here, and then I think they're going to be perfect, because I think that's where a lot of people, when they're first trying tall boots on, where they make their mistakes. They think, oh my gosh, it's so uncomfortable. These boots are way too high for me. They don't give them a chance to kind of work out and get the leather to soften and then drop. And then once they do drop, then they end up with a big gap up here and a boot that ends up being too low for them, simply because these can drop a good inch, inch and a half. So we'll see what the full lace-ups do. And since I'm able to kind of tighten them a lot here, I don't know how much of a drop I'll get, but I do think these look pretty good. I do like them. So I'll start wearing these around and testing them out, and even give them a nice cleaning and leather to kind of soften up this to help it drop. But as far as the insides, I've got good toe wiggle room. I can spread my toes slightly. I don't think these are huge as far as wide. I don't have wide feet, but I don't have really narrow feet. I think they're quite average in that regards. And I'm touching here and here, but comfortably. So I think that's good. Front to back, I think I've got some good wiggle room too. So if I'm in a hot climate and, you know, sometimes your feet swell a little bit in the heat, I think I've still got room for that to happen. But in the cooler weather, I don't feel like I'm going to be clunking around like I'm wearing clown shoes. So I think the 7s for me, which is the same size in Ariats I wear, I think this is a good fit, and I just need to stretch them out. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Please support us by subscribing to our channel, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Bye.